Hey everyone, this is Stevie Richards, and I have Dan right here.
Stevie.
We usually are in a different building. We're in a brand new space here. This is the Force USA Research and Development Lab, which means I secretly get to break things without getting in trouble. I don't know why I'm whispering. You can hear me too.
Yeah, we test the product. Absolutely.
Usually it's the opposite. When I try to speak as loud as I can, it sounds like a whisper, but that's just for effect to go into the camera.
Good.
You know, to kind of break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
We won't break any of these walls. Maybe I try to break the machines, but I won't try to break the walls.
Yes, we'd appreciate it.
Okay, speaking of which, I don't think I have any chance of really breaking the unit that we have behind us right here.
Doubt it. Yeah. This is the new series, the X15.
So the X15 Pro, so we have the G15 Pro, which by the way, full review is up here on the YouTube channel along with updated reviews with that. That's a G15 Pro. We have the X15 Pro, and we also have an X20 Pro that's off camera that we're gonna do a separate video on.
Big brother, yep.
We'll talk about the X series and how this differs, say from the whole G series, or more specifically even the G10, G15, G20, which are kind of labeled to be Pro as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, our X series basically is beefier. You know, we use 7 to 11 gauge still throughout the whole unit. 3x3 uprights is kind of one of those things. We just made it very, very heavy duty.
I noticed that right away. Like I thought the 2x2s on the G15 were,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, these are pretty beefy. And I see these look like almost twice the size of those.
I know, yeah, size matters.
We're already starting with these. We did a couple of outtakes where I messed up. Now it's his turn.
My bad.
So speaking of 3x3s, we want to take a closer look at these and see. And we also, I see right here, we have some brand new J hooks, which are pretty cool. So we're going to take it kind of section by section and see what the X15. I almost said G15 because I want to get back home and start using that G15 too. But we'll take a look at this. We also have some little Easter eggs in the background that we'll talk about too.
Cool, sounds good.
So here are the 3x3 uprights. I kind of wanted to get more of an angle because you can't really appreciate the depth and kind of the width of these uprights. So a lot of people were asking for 2x2s for a long time, like to be standard, but you guys kind of literally one step further.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we honestly, we just like to listen to our customers and then go one above and beyond on that. So.
Any chance of like one 8x8 or 9x9 would be like that? I mean, I don't know anybody that can lift that heavy.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to put that much steel in your house either.
These J hooks we're going to get to the attachments, the dedicated segment here. Timestamps, by the way, in the video in the description below. But the included attachments, this is a brand new design J hook, J cup that we're looking at right here. Not only has the beefiness of the hard rubber, but also takes up more space on the 3x3.
We do, giving you more length so you can re-rack it easier, yep.
Okay, so let's take a look. I'm very interested in the cable pulley system and the way you guys redesigned it. We're gonna look at that off camera. No, we're gonna look at it on camera. I'm looking at it off camera right now. We're gonna put it on camera. That's called a podcast.
Okay.
So here we have pretty much the heart and the soul of the cable pulley system outside of the stacks themselves. But you guys have redesigned this. And I know when I had the G3 and even the previous G6, that it was kind of a two-handed adjustment type of situation. And even though I do recommend that you use two hands because this is a beefy system for adjustment, but technically because of this, what I call mini barbell here, even with knurling, that's a nice detail. I can literally do that with one hand if I had to. Obviously, I would try to brace it with two, but this one-handed cable adjustment system is new to the X series, right?
It is, yeah, much smoother. Since it is beefier, we added some rollers on there as well to help you kind of adjust it a little more smooth.
You know what it reminds me of? It actually reminds me a lot of the leg press on the G3 with the roller system. Yeah, kind of has a similar type of functionality.
Right there on the Smith machine, yes.
And one thing I really like, because even with the laser etching, sometimes with the overhead lights and your lights in your home or garage, it's hard to see the number, but you guys actually cut out a hole here on the side. Because he was watching me, by the way, look in the front and trying to kind of do that.
Gauge where it goes.
But that is a nice touch right above the adjustment point right here is a cutout hole.
Yeah, you can easily adjust both sides to be the same height.
And everything's laser etched, right? Even the logo right here?
It is, yeah.
Cool, very cool. So this is not exclusive to the X15 itself, but also on the X20. Everything we talk about on the X15 will be similar on the X20 Pro. There is a couple upgrades on there, and obviously footprint is different on both, but this will be identical on the X20 Pro.
Yep, both systems are used on them.
So here we have the weight stacks, and we also have a little Easter egg we're already showing off that we're going to talk about towards the end of the video. But the weight stacks are actually identical in the amount, 289 pounds,
Yep.
and also the look, and a 2-to-1 cable pulley ratio
Yes.
as my G15 Pro, correct?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. The only difference is the 4-to-1 ratio on your G15.
So this is a strict 2-to-1 ratio where the G15 has the ability to cut that into a quarter
Yep.
rather than a half.
Yep.
But what I can see here is this X15 Pro, even though it does have the cable stacks as a functional trainer, it reminds me of a lot of what general home use power lifters and people doing strong 5x5s would do.
Yes.
But you added the stacks for people that want to actually get that accessory work in.
Yes, exactly.
So here we have the pull-up portion of the X15 Pro. Now what we're looking at here is that classic straight pull-up bar that people see a lot, and I had one of these pull-up bars with the original classic MyRack. I love that.
Awesome.
But also one thing I liked about the MyRack was that if I wanted to do multi-grip pull-ups along with when the mood struck me to swap them out. I know
Yeah.
it takes a little bit of time sometimes, but the X15 Pro took the nod from the MyRack, and you actually include two, I'm gonna put the two up there, two pull-up bars, not just one. So they're not stuck with this one, and also you're not locked into the multi-grip either.
Exactly, yeah. They both come standard with each unit, the X20 and the X15 Pro, and you can swap them out depending on the kind of pull-up you want to do.
But I will say this, the bolts are probably, they look like they're 3 times the size of the
They are.
of the MyRack bolts that put them in. So it's a little bit beefier, isn't it?
Yeah, we added more steel everywhere throughout.
So this is another thing that I really loved about the G15 Pro. It's what sold me on it and why I put it in my garage gym. Because it used to be you would have 3 sets or 3 weight plate holders on the side.
Yep.
And also the spacing on some of the past models didn't have the ability to really space out bumper plates. Olympic plates, the rubber plates or even the metal ones, those are fine. But bumper plates do take up a little bit more room, and you tend, no pun intended, they would bump up against each other.
Exactly.
And yeah, having 3 was great, but having this 4th one from the G15 Pro and now on the X15 Pro, and also I assume the X20 Pro has it as well.
Yes, they all have it.
It just creates a whole smaller footprint that you don't need a storage rack and other things.
Absolutely, yeah. You have all your storage right here in one place. It's also adjustable anywhere on those uprights, so you can, make your own spacing depending on what you want to put on it.
And that's new to the X series, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't, I just got to tell you, I wouldn't see why, if you can put 4 on here, why you would choose less storage. But the fact that you, just for that one person, it might be like, I like less storage, and I don't want, I want my bumpers against the wall, because my wife doesn't get mad when I scuff the white walls at home. She loves it.
Good, okay. Yeah,
So give me 3. I want 2, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, just take them off. Don't even use it. You don't even have
I
to.
love tripping over my bumper plates on the floor.
Yeah, oh, good. And yeah, they're totally customizable. So you can put them on the side. You can put them pointing out the back. You can really adjust them to wherever your home gym is.
Now that is really cool. I noticed there's holes on the back.
Yes.
We really can't get a shot of that, but if you wanted the look of, say, the G20 Pro, those are from the back. So if you wanted to kick this out a little bit and have lateral space, that's actually a nice touch.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Do you guys, because you guys are always thinking of something, will these holes represent anything that you might be able to kind of attach something to one of these?
Maybe one day, yeah. We definitely made it a standard size so we could use it for multiple things.
So you can have like the infamous, I'm just going to put it out in the universe, the infamous punching bag or something like that. If you wanted to attach something, could stick out from it.
Yeah, maybe one day. Yeah, absolutely. If we see the demand, we'll look into attaching.
No promises. We're not. It's not. I'm just. I'm saying it. You're not. So
good.
But this seriously, the back part, I didn't even see that till you pointed it out. The way that you can customize the look and the feel of the storage options is really cool.
Yeah, it's your gym. You should be able to do it your way.
All right, so now we're going to talk about attachments.
Awesome.
And you guys are doing it again. You're including a lot of stuff. And I noticed one thing. I'm jumping ahead because we've got the spotter arms and everything here.
Yeah.
Something that was an optional upgrade. It was part of the upgrade kit. Was this right here, which was one of my favorite things. The row pull, the V row, or God, what do they call it, man? They were
row handle. You can do whatever. Yeah. Tons of different grips.
I can't keep up with the trends of people renaming everything, but this is a cool row handle. Once again, go back to the laser etching here. But this is something in the X series, along with these upgraded J hooks, these J cups.
Yep.
See, I'm trying to cover all my bases with names. Now these are standard. So
Yeah.
there's no upgrade kit required. Like with the G15 Pro, I had to get the upgrade kit in order to get this.
Yeah,
so.
there is a lot of things that we included standard for the X series that we did in other ones. Just, kind of filling it out and seeing what kind of things would work best.
Very nice. Even little touches like this, where if you go on Amazon, you want to get like the lat pull-down bar, the rope, where you're gonna have to buy like 3 other attachments that you probably already have for like 50, 60 bucks on Amazon.
Yeah.
I've been there a couple times, so. But it's nice you include this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But there is an upgrade kit that is available where you can get some more beefy attachments.
There is, yeah, some that are not as common as others that we wanted to include in an upgrade kit. But yeah, right out of the box, standard, you're gonna get everything you need.
I'll lift this up. So I'm on a roll lifting things up that are laser etched. Low row foot plate. Once again, on a couple models, I forget which ones they were, this was an upgrade. This was an optional thing, and it wasn't included. But on this one and the X20 Pro, these are all the included attachments.
It is, yeah, and we do make that one come standard with a lot of units now, just because that is a really slick attachment. A lot of people love those. So.
Well, you know it is like cable rows are great to do, but the one thing about cable rows is you can't get good footing because you're obviously more times than not sitting on the floor. Even if you're sitting on a bench, and I tried that with the G20, you can sit on a bench, get an angle where you can get more of a deeper row rather than having your butt on the floor and sliding back and forth. But this low row foot plate really does. It has a utility, and it hooks in right here at the bottom, which is nice. Just put it right through and you're ready to go.
It also adjusts further away down here with a pop pin, just to give you more versatility on that.
Like for longer arm guys
that
don't have biceps. One of those guys. That will never be a thumbnail. One of those, it's got to be like that.
You gotta flex it.
Speaking of which, I want to get everybody to get a close look at these while I'm on the roll and picking up heavy things. The safety spotter arms look like that they're a little bit longer than previous models.
They are.
And also, as I put it right up here, I can see that the hard rubber where you're going to drop the bars, say for RDLs and stuff, is quite a bit thicker than past models.
Yes.
Of course, laser etching. So you thicken that up to give it more of a lifespan.
We thicken the steel, thicken the padding, give it something to, more durability on that one. So
now I notice there are holes here on the side. Is that something that you could put if you choose to do variable resistance?
Yeah, you definitely can. It doesn't come with the band pegs on it for the X15. It does for the X20, but absolutely, you can use those holes for those kind of attachments.
Now we are going to get to the X20 Pro in a dedicated overview video. It's going to be much shorter than this one because these are basically outside of footprint and maybe a couple attachments.
Basically two.
They're basically the same thing. And footprint is a big deal. So it's not like I'm saying, they're pretty much the same. Because if you don't have if you have the space for this, you're really not sacrificing anything except the fact that you have a very nice footprint, lots of included attachments. The X20 Pro obviously is something that will take up much more room. You can kind of see it if I think over there.
It's definitely deeper, but you're getting a lot of cool features with it.
You'll know if you want the X15 Pro or the X20 Pro.
Exactly.
Unlike myself, who now I'm like saying, all right, will I have space for this thing? And convince my wife that we need 2 racks now. That's going to be a big deal.
That's the one to convince.
But this is nice. You just got a house. So you're actually eyeing this one up.
I am.
We're going to get that into the conclusion because I want to know why something like this with dimensions and stuff would be something that would be attractive. You're going to put this possibly in your garage space?
Garage, if I can fit it in my basement, maybe,
Very cool.
We'll see.
All right, so these attachments are cool, but we're also going to have a dedicated video on the upgrade kit, which you got a little preview with the shelving behind me and other stuff.
Standard,
So we're gonna look at that in a separate video. Everything will be in the description below. So that is about it for this overview. We're gonna bring a full review as soon as possible of the X15 Pro. Maybe Dan, if he gets it, will do his own review of that and show what it looks like in a garage space or even a basement space because basements usually have lower ceilings, and that's something we're going to discuss too because the X15 and the X20 Pro may not be good for somebody in that has lower ceilings and stuff like that.
So they're 92 inches tall. So you're right there at the height of most standard size basements.
And the 92 inches was, like I said, we're going to go through an FAQ and talk about like who this should be for, who the X20 Pro, or if you want to look at something in the G series lineup. When I was, just a side note, when I had the G3 in my apartment, and not so much the garage because my height is 12 feet right now, so I could fit one of these very easily. But the G3, I believe, was like 87 or 89 inches high.
Yes, around that.
So when you're looking at that, oh, here we go again. That extra 3 inches really makes a difference. God, yeah, exactly. But if you're doing pull-ups or at the highest point, you need to do something, or even just the fact that if it's butting up against the ceiling, that could be an issue.
Yeah, definitely. So you got to think about it. If pull-ups are something that are really important for you to be able to get your head over the bar, you know, you got to take that in consideration, not just the height of the unit. Yeah.
But if it does fit, if it fits your footprint, I will say this, as far as everything it's offering, it is definitely something that's beefy, but you guys have condensed it down into a really efficient footprint.
Yeah, you think about your home gym space and how much limited space there is already. You don't get the upgrade kit, you get the shelves too. So there's just a lot of stuff you can do with it.
Well, we've been hitting at the shelves right here. We've been hitting at all these little.
It's kind of hard to hide. Yeah.
Now these things, we're not going to say what they are. You can see from the video what they are, but that's why we call it a lab, because we're playing around with this. But you know, the translation is, will Stevie break it? And then if he can't break it, we know it might be a good product.
Hashtag will Stevie break it.
Exactly. So we have lots of stuff here that we're going to experiment with. We don't know what we're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. He knows what he's doing. So
we're all working on it.
There you go. There you go.
Awesome.
All right. Remember, there's affiliate links in the description below. Check those. ForceUSA.com/Stevie. And now live in Canada. There's a link for Canada. So check that out. Canadian residents have been really clamoring for Force USA for almost 2 years now, since the 2020 stuff happened.
Yeah. ForceUSA.ca.
Yeah, I don't know if we're allowed to say that word yet. So the thing that happened in 2020. So check those links in the description below. Most importantly, God bless each and every one of you. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.